Trust in the group. It'll work. Yep. There it is. I'm here to create and give the opportunity to all the festival attendees to become the musician throughout the day with multiple drum circles. I like it! The cool part about doing this is that I get to create community at a music festival. We're in a circle, everyone can make eye contact with each other, and everybody gets their own instrument. I give them the freedom to say whatever they want on their instrument, but the goal is that we're creating one song, and through that we're creating one energy. And that is where I feel the community is created most profoundly, when we're all creating one song together. My job as a facilitator is to create the conditions for that. So I need to make sure that I'm allowing people to feel welcome enough. I need to make people feel comfortable enough to join a musical experience. I have a lot of people say that that is the number one thing that prevents them from joining. So for a lot of us, our first musical experience was maybe in a music lesson or in a music class at school. And in those types of environments, we're usually taught to perform, right? So we have to play something perfectly, where notes are maybe written on a piece of paper, and if we don't perform it perfectly, then it's wrong. And for a lot of people, that's a turnoff. There's a reason why we call it playing music. When children play on a playground, they're not thinking about if they're doing it right or wrong. They just do it. They're not worried about, hey, do I look stupid? Am I doing this wrong? That's play. And that's why I really stress with my drum circles in particular, is we're here to play music. So there is no right or wrong. Everyone has the freedom to contribute, to play, to speak or voice whatever feels natural and true to them. Nice. Yes! These drum circles are very different than most of the drum circle programs that I share. So with most drum circle programs, there's a set number of people and they're expected to be there from the start to the end. This is much more fluid in that anyone can come. There's going to be over 5,000 people here. So I have to be prepared to facilitate a huge number of people. Even if it's that getting them to join, you know, with hand claps and using their body as a musical instrument. There's a lot more moving parts at this festival, which makes it a lot more difficult for me. So that's why I have a lot more help to come with me for this type of festival. All of my friends that I had help me today, they were there for a bunch of different reasons. They were definitely extra sets of eyes for me. Because there's so many different moving parts in the drum circle. A big thing that I needed them there for was to help welcome others into the drum circle. So if they saw people on the periphery, oftentimes people are kind of nervous or apprehensive about joining. So my friends were there to walk up with a smile, hand them an instrument, and say, here you go, we want you to join us. They were also there to help keep the beat. So since we were outside, all the sound goes straight up, right? So, and it was a pretty big circle. My buffalo drum is deep, but it may not carry to the opposite side. So I strategically had a bigger djembe directly across from me. So my friend Ryan was there to pretty much do what I was doing on the opposite side, keeping a pulse. So he has done this a lot with me, and he's very aware of the people around him and subtly helping them join in the music. Cool. Good timing. Really good timing. Thank you. So one of the things I noticed with the previous drum circle was that there weren't enough holes between chairs. and that kind of gives the vibe to people who may want to join that they're not welcome. People don't want to feel awkward, people don't want to feel like they're getting in the way. So what we're going to do for the next circle is strike some of the chairs, create some bigger holes so people feel more invited to walk into the center, either sit on the carpet or just come in, grab an instrument and exit right back out and join the periphery of the circle. But I think striking some chairs and creating some gaps, that's going to create more of a welcoming vibe and will probably attract a lot more people in the next circle. I held off on a couple facilitation techniques. So for instance, I did no call and response in the first drum circle, and I'm going to save that for the next one, just to give something different for the people that came for both of them. Now me! I try to let the group inform me when they're looking for change. So I really try to give up the control to the group and trust that they're the ones who know what they want and creating something natural and pure. When I feel the energy dip, or if I feel the music start to get a little bit wobbly, that's where I would interject with some facilitation. I'm always aware of the time and trying to create a narrative throughout the circle. So the first one was 30 minutes, this next one will be 45 minutes. So the narrative will be a little bit different, but I always try to kind of create the experience through the lens of telling a story, with peaks and valleys. Thank you. We're all still moving together. It takes all of us. I like it. See if you can nod your head. Or maybe move your feet. As you'll notice throughout the day, a big part of my job is to what I call wear the pulse. A pulse is what connects the music, right? So in our culture, a lot of our music has a quarter note pulse. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's always this steady pulse. And as you'll see, as I'm facilitating, I don't even need to use my words, but I'll be wearing the pulse. With my head like this, right? As I'm walking through the circle, you'll always see that I'm gonna be stepping to the pulse, whatever that may be. I'm not really there to really change what the group's doing. I like to allow the group to naturally create what feels good to them. But at times, if I feel like the energy's dipping and I want to bring it up, then I'll facilitate towards that direction. But I try to be pretty gentle about it. But I'm always kind of wearing the pulse, walking, nodding, making a lot of eye contact with as many people as I can throughout the circle, sharing a smile with them, and kind of nodding to the pulse, connecting that way, and letting them know, I see you, I got you, I support you, I'm happy that you're here. What I like most about the drum circles is that I never know who's gonna show up and how they're gonna show up. So for instance, there were about 4 guys off on the edge of the circle using the boom whackers all together on a chair. And I noticed they were working as a team. Don't stop! When I tell them to stop, you guys keep going, all right? And I love having all these moving pieces that I can then kind of create in the moment, in the drum circle as a whole. 4, 3, 2, 1. I got in the circle, let everyone know, let's cut, highlighted those guys, and then we start layering the rest of the group into what those other guys were doing. For me, that creatively is the most fun that I have doing this type of work. I'm giving all these pieces that I can't anticipate, and I get to mix and match and play around and create something that I hope everyone in the experience enjoys and feels empowered and inspired by. Working together. There's a lot internally that's going on for me as I'm doing it. I'm trying to be aware of things at the most macro and micro levels. So For instance, I'm trying to really scan the entirety of the group, just picking up the general vibe, music and otherwise, how the energy feels, the environment, if there's anything distracting that's keeping people from having a good time or fully engaging in the music. So that's where I try to keep my lens of perception really wide. And there's other times I have to narrow in, specifically on one person. Or maybe people are having a harder time joining the rhythm of the music. I need to kind of focus on that and do things in a subtle and gentle and welcoming way to help them join in a way that helps make the group more successful and the music sound better. As you can see throughout these circles, I'm more than just a dude banging on drums, right? So there's all these different things that I talked about that we're paying attention to, both as the circle as a whole and focused on each individual person. It's taken a lot of experience and hundreds of hours of me doing this and being trained by the best people in the world doing this to really develop the instincts necessary to facilitate a successful drum circle. Today we're doing it at a music festival. The point is to build community, to encourage creative expression, and to celebrate and have a good time. But oftentimes I'll do drum circles for group therapy. I do drum circles with businesses for corporate team building. I do drum circles in senior homes or just with general adult populations for stress reduction. I often do it teaching leadership skills. I like doing that a lot with kids for leadership development, where they become the drum circle facilitator, and I'm teaching them nonverbal skills, how to use their body, making sure they're always turning around, making eye contact with everyone in the group, and using big expressions because everything that they do with their body and their words is communicating something. What's your name, bud? Thaddeus. What is it? Thaddeus. Thaddeus, cool. The best. Keep it up, man. Just noticing that little kid, and he's kind of moving his feet, and he's making eye contact with me on and off, but he's really getting it, even though he's super young. So I love the idea that I could go over, find out his name, cut out everyone, and put the focus on that one kid. 2, 1, and hey everybody, this is Thaddeus. Can we all say, hey Thaddeus? Hey Thaddeus! We are all gonna make Thaddeus move, all right? Yeah, Thaddeus. So Thaddeus, can you stomp your feet like a... We're all gonna follow Thaddeus's feet. He's gonna set the tempo for us, all right? And I asked him to move his feet to create the pulse, totally trusting that whatever he does, the rest of the group would follow along and it would work out. And it was amazing. Let's follow him! And it makes me feel good that I could put the spotlight on him and give him his moment to shine. Nice! He was a toddler, but he led the group. He fully led the group. And in his own way, I hope, felt supported by everyone. Nice! What I do is way more than banging on drums. What I do is way more than creating music. It's about creating moments with other people. As you saw in the circle, there were toddlers, there were seniors, there was everyone in between of all different ages and abilities, but we were all on an equal playing field, all creating together, and I made sure to let everyone know that it really took everyone there to make it happen. With a day like this, where there's multiple circles and multiple responsibilities and moving around throughout the field, it really takes until I get home and unpack everything to really reflect and appreciate what I've been able to experience. But at the same time, I really try to afford myself the moments during the drumming to really just take it in. And it feels awesome. It really does. It's good work. It's really good work.